Do you have repeatable actions that you do every day? Or what about one-off projects? If so, here's a great method I learnt off Mark Forster's How to Make Your Dreams Come True, which I've called the process flow. Hi, I'm Mike, welcome to my channel. Thanks for joining me. Please do like and subscribe and you'll be notified of any videos coming up. So, going back to process flow. First, you list all the different types of tasks that you might perform on an average day. It might be cold call telephoning, online research, proposal writing. Then you might have that one-off project that you never seem to get to start. It might be one of those projects that you could really move your business forward in. It might not be urgent, so other things seem to take priority. Next, you take all those actions and you list them out on a table. See the link in the description for an example. Mark the number 5 in the box next to each task. This is because you're just going to do each task for just 5 minutes. So you start with a task at the top of the list. You set your timer for 5 minutes, and when the alarm goes, stop that task even if you've not completed it. Then restart your timer, move to the next task. You keep repeating this until you've worked on all the task types for at least 5 minutes. If you complete the task, you mark another number 5 in the box to the right. This is because you will then repeat this the next day. Any task that you didn't complete, mark with a number 10 in the empty box, so that when you start the next cycle, you'll be performing this task for 10 minutes. And if you complete the task, mark a number 10 for the next day. If you didn't complete the task, mark it 15. So you keep repeating this process until you get to 40-minute durations. Why 40 minutes? Well, this is the optimum time for your concentration before it starts to wane and before you need a rest. So this would be the maximum time you would ever spend on one task. Now the benefit of this is that you're first working on all the different tasks that are important, even though they might not be urgent. And we're also increasing our desire and motivation to do the work. It's especially good if you suffer from procrastination. The idea is that we're utilising a couple of psychological traits to our advantage. First, by initially reducing the task to just 5 minutes in duration, we're overcoming that natural state of procrastination. Secondly, by stopping working before we've finished, we're using our natural need for completion. This makes us want to work on the task even more. So as you rotate through the list of types of tasks, you start to go into a state of flow that all high achievers need. The next method I use is the bottom-up method or top-down method. Again, it's another technique I borrowed from Mark Forster, and I'll leave a link to his book in the description. And I call this the bottom-up stroke top-down method. And this is especially useful if you have a long list of things to do, of unrelated types of tasks, some of which you might dread. This is another elegant method of overcoming that killer of success, procrastination. The first thing you need to do is list out all your tasks, if you haven't done that already. Next, you put an asterisk next to the item on the top of the list. Then you look at item number 2. Would you prefer to do this task or the one on the top? If you prefer to do this task, put an asterisk next to it. If not, leave it blank. And you repeat this process working down the list. And as you go down the list, the actions highlighted should be more and more appealing or easier to do. In theory, the lowest highlighted task on this list is the easiest or devices to do. Next, you start working on the top item. When you complete that task, cross it out, and then you move down the list to the next highlighted item. You repeat this until all the highlighted items are complete. The theory is that the tasks are getting easier and easier. And once you've gone down the list, you repeat the whole process with the task you ignored the first time. The highest task left on the list then gets an asterisk. You move down the list, asking the same question again: would I prefer to do this task? By using this method, your work becomes progressively easy. This is a really effective way of gamifying your work. And what it means is that your work becomes a kind of play. And this uses another key psychological human trait: we love to play. A version of this is the bottom-up method. So with the bottom-up method, when you come to starting your tasks, instead of starting with the hardest, you start at the bottom, the easiest. Now, I know a lot of time management literature tells you to do the hardest task first. In practice though, sometimes you just need to make a start. And the easiest task might just be the best place to start. Also, by starting at the easiest task, you're making a start, you're creating momentum. Next, we come to backlogs. And this is another technique I have adapted from Mark Forster. And it's what to do if you find yourself in the situation of a backlog. It could be that you return back from 2 weeks holiday to find 1,000 emails in your inbox. Or how about all those magazines that you've told yourself you'll get round to reading? Or it could just be a mountain of work that's landed across your desk. How do you tackle this and also keep up to date with the new stuff as it comes in? Well, you declare a backlog. And it's a bit like declaring yourself financially bankrupt, except that you're going to pay this debt back. What you do is take your entire to-do list and put it to one side. If it's an email backlog, then move all your unread, outstanding emails to a separate folder. Name it backlog. If it's a reading list, physically move all the items into one neat pile. One word of advice though is to declare a backlog on only one type of item. So for instance, just emails, or just a to-do list, or reading material. Next, you add the project to your project list called Backlog Project. And this works really well with the process flow grid, see above. So you're going to carry on processing new work as it comes in and working on your ongoing projects. But when you come to the backlog project, just work at it like any other project without guilt. So the beauty of treating your backlog list like this is that you're still tackling it, but you're also tackling new stuff as and when it comes. More importantly though, you're still working on your goals and projects. Finally, when you do eventually clear your backlog, you could do some self-analysis, asking yourself, how did you get behind in the first place? What processes can you put in place to prevent it happening again? So I hope you liked and got value from this video. Please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.